Hello, hello. What's going on, you guys? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. My name is Ricky. If you guys don't know who it is that I am, we have a little bit over 100,000 subscribers. We have a little bit over 80,000 members within our free TechBit Solutions networking platform. If you guys have ever wanted to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, then I would encourage you to click the third link in the description, and we would love to have you within our free Facebook group and within our free private group if you want to get started in investing in the stock market, real estate, buying and reselling cars. Look who we have here today. Boom, boom, boom. We got Caleb in the house. Woo, woo. So I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Just wanted to talk about a swing trade position that I've been taking. A lot of people are asking me. I've talked about like what my plan is, what's going to happen, and stuff like that. But I feel like I need to continue to remind you guys that with swing trading, there's going to be pullbacks, and I'm just going to talk about how it is that I trade these pullbacks and what's led to my success. My style of trading is not the only style of trading out there. I would encourage you to, if you're just getting started in investing in the stock market, stay or look into simulation trading, paper trading. You can trade with fake money and stuff like that, and it's a great way on how to get started with no monetary risk. There's so much information out there. It's you just putting two and two together. So let me go ahead and close this up real quick. Boom, boom. All right, looks like we should be good now. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit smaller, and then just so you guys can see me, but then that you guys can mainly see my chart. So I'm using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, and one of the patterns that I've been seeing, let me talk to you guys about the ETF that I'm trading. This is UGAZ. We saw a double bottom right here at 50, so it had a descending pattern. We waited for the consolidation to break above this EMA, so that EMA line is this line that you see right here. The reason that we wait for that is because when something is actively trending up, it should be trending up above this 180-day EMA line on the 4-hour chart. Same thing here. It was trending down. We waited for the break above it, broke above it, and now it's still trending above it. It had really good days as of yesterday and the day prior because it came from lows of 50 and was able to push up to highs of 58. That's huge. That's over 10%, right? But with swing trading, especially with something like these ETFs, we can't really expect huge pushes. It would be very not like normal, right? For you guys to go from 50 and just shoot straight up to the overall pattern of or the overall price of $80. That's just not something that it does. But something that it does do is, when it does actively start trending up, it pushes up, it pulls back, pushes up, pushes up, pushes up, pulls back, pushes up. So it's an ascending uptrend pattern, and that's something that I want you guys to become familiar with. It hit highs of 58, which I understand was a pretty high point. It had a sell-off during, it's a red day as of today, and looking at it on intraday. I can see why a lot of people were discouraged, right? Or why a lot of people were asking the question, hey, what's going on? It's all part of the game. Realistically, it's still staying in between these VWAP indicators. That's VWAP. I have a video that talks about it both in the lesson library on how it is that I use it to day trade. And I also have a video on YouTube that shows what the VWAP indicator is and how it is that I've used it before. So the reason that I find this to be so effective is because if you could identify the low points, again, the bottom VWAP, and then the high points, the top VWAP, you can, identify a margin of profit for a day trade, right? It doesn't offer huge margins, about 2 to 3% usually, especially with these ETFs. But 2 to 3% a day really can keep the bills away depending on your size of account, and it's all about that consistent pattern. So one of the things that I've been noticing is that it had this random sell-off. It had this really nice push, and I was on the we have a daily call where I speak to my private group. It's the first link in the description. It's where I speak to them on a daily basis, and we were jumping on our daily call right at market open, and it had this huge sell-off. And it bounced off the bottom VWAP. I made the mistake of getting in a little bit too early. I added a little bit more to my position. It had this sell-off, and I thought it was going to bounce here at the SMA. I saw a little bit of a green candle. I bought, and then I had another sell-off. So it's not huge when it comes down to percentage of how much I missed out on. It was about 1%, but that's still something. And now that it's reversing, I'm up on that position. I think my entry was right around like 56.60 or something like that. So I'm not up as much as I want to. So I'm up on my total position, $291 and stuff like that. So very small profits so far, and it really comes down to just thinking about the opportunity cost. So again, today, just psychologically. Okay, so the stock, this ETF is trending up. It's still validating the pattern, right? It's still trending up above the EMA. Is this because of this pullback? Do I want to cut losses? Do I want to cover profits? I can, but a lot of the margin that happens moves within aftermarket hours, which means that it's not something that we can trade. So that's why swing trading can be so effective. So if you understand the pattern, if you're comfortable with your position size, if you know that the potential for profit outweighs the potential for loss, then there's some form of confidence that you have to have. And with that being said, I think that, the resistance that I called out at $80, that's just an idea. That's a goal that I have in mind based off of previous patterns right here, and then when I had the sell-off, the consolidation there. But realistically, that SMA indicator line is right here, right around $70. So even if it just gets to that point, my average right now should be right around like $55.50. And let's say it ends up hitting highs of that $70 price point. That's 26% potential for profit. That's more than enough for me to, be extremely happy with my overall position. That will put me at almost $5,000 profit. And that's something that I'm extremely comfortable with. It outweighs the potential loss that I have to offer. But I have to be confident, I have to understand the pattern, and I have to know when to cover profits or to cut losses, right? Because the EMA line is right here. The candles are not trending. Do you see the candles trending below the EMA line? Do you see signs of a downward pattern? No. I still see the EMA line pointing straight up. If we go to /NG, the EMA line on this one is still pointing up as well. And even the previous times where it started to show signs of an uptrend, look at the previous patterns where it started to bounce here at the same price point that it's at now. So if we look at where it's at now, right? It pushed up, hit highs of, the 280, and then pulled all the way back down again to the support, and then pushed back up. This can be volatile. And then it pushes up, and then it holds above the EMA, and then it makes new highs and stuff like that. Same thing with this. Find patterns that make sense to you, find patterns that you understand, and if you don't feel comfortable trading them, then simply don't, guys. It's not, again, one of the best positions that you can take is not taking one at all. And if you don't feel comfortable, don't take it. Or if you do kind of understand it and you want to kind of test the waters, there's simulation trading, paper trading. Prove to yourself that you know how to identify patterns and that you can do this on a consistent basis. That's all I want for you guys. So you guys can start taking action with no monetary risk. And that's really just it. I'm going to answer a couple questions that we have going on within the live Q&A chat. So if you guys aren't joining us live, just be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications on. I would love to have you within the live stream and answer your questions live as well. So let's see. I'm trying to read all the comments. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. So Brian DeLeon is asking, what am I using for my charts? I use TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. It's a free brokerage that you can utilize, especially if you're within the United States or the neighboring countries as well. Jamin, okay, I like the call out that you had. So you actually broke it down. So JNUG in at 14, out at 16. This is actually something that we talked about. What I mean by that is within the Learn Plan Profit Group, this is something that we brought up, and the reason that we brought it up was because of this pattern that we saw. So if you look at /GC, which is a future for gold, we can see that it's approaching a support. Do you see the support line that it's approaching right here? Right here, and it's almost about to cross. Again, it has continuously gotten rejected by the 180-day EMA, and that's why it's been trending down. Look at this potential reversal. The MACD indicator is starting to curve back in. What's the stocks or the ETFs that correlate to /GC, the future itself, that should start reversing? That is JNUG. Do you see that it's having a green day, right? It's starting to show signs of a potential reversal. That's good. I still have my alerts set. I'm still waiting for the confirmations. Confirmation is key. And what's the other one? NUGT. NUGT should start showing signs of a potential reversal as well. What's another one? GLD. GLD is showing signs of a potential reversal. There's so many out there. There's so many out there that are offering, pretty decent margins of profit. So when it comes down to looking at like what JNUG has to offer, JNUG has to offer, almost 20% potential for profit. Now what does NUGT have to offer? Showing signs of potential for profit of roughly to 30, about 20% as well. So, what's my idea or what is it that I would wait for? Just like you said, wait for the break above 14, get that confirmation that it breaks above the EMA, get that EMA line start pointing up. And I think you said $16, that's a resistance. Let me make sure that that's what you said. $16.50, I like it. $16 is a little bit more conservative. But yeah, I think you're 100% on the money. And I love that you were able to break that down. Again, it's investing in what you see value in. And we have a series of ETFs. So guys, if you guys haven't done so already, I know I talk about it all the time, is click that first link in the description. If you guys like these ETFs and like the patterns that I trade, then click that first link in the description, and we have a whole ETF section that's solely dedicated on how I trade these ETFs, how I've been able to do this on a consistent basis, and how I, year to date, have not taken a red position altogether. So I hope that you guys enjoy the way that I break things down. I hope that you guys see value in the way I see value as well. And if you do, then I think it would be great being able to work with you on a daily basis. So it's all, so how am I spotting these reversals? It's the correlation to these futures and these ETFs and how it is that I've broken them down. For all those that are part of Learn Plan Profit, again, we have this ETF section, and there's a video that talks about the future itself and how I trade them. So I talk about everything that is, all the resources that I use, the patterns that I look for, how I use the futures to correlate them over to the ETFs. It's step by step, everything that is that you need to know. I need your autograph. What's going on, man? Who leads your ETF team? We don't have an ETF team. It's me that just continues. Like, that's what I really like trading. So just like yourself, it looks, if I remember correctly, I don't know how to. So I'm guessing it's Intel. Is that like your username and stuff like that? But there's no individual that leads the ETFs. It's I see value in ETFs. I dedicate time on finding the resources and the tools and stuff like that to get a better understanding, and that's how I trade them. Justin is asking, will I ever do a meetup? Yes. The time that I plan to do a meetup is, you guys know that we're working on a TechBud Solutions headquarters. We're first trying to relocate my primary residence. So I currently, I want to find another property and then find an HQ, so like an office, where we could establish that HQ at. So once we have that headquarters, that's where I would like to have a meetup, because that's, I'm pretty busy and I want to make sure that there's some benefit that you guys have, not other than just meeting me, but being able to see our facility and stuff like that. That would be the goal. Okay, so Saul says, would you say it's better to have multiple positions so you diverse and not worrying about these pullbacks within the day? Yes and no. So multiple positions can be overwhelming, but also it is pretty nice because then it does offset the red days, with some green. But realistically, that's not something that I do very often. So I did want to let you guys know my Tesla position I ended up covering today. I sold a little bit too early, and it ended up hitting highs. We called it out that it was going to most likely peak out at like 345, 350. Guess where it's at? It's at 346, heading to 350. So we covered profits there, and we call this one out when it dropped to lows of 300. So again, not only do we focus on like ETFs, but we focus on patterns that make sense. And again, it's this horizontal pattern: lows of 300, highs of 350, 360, covered profits on the way up. Waited for the break above the EMA. Very simple pattern. Nothing crazy, nothing that's like strange, nothing that's like, a quick in and out. I know a lot of people that are within our Learn Plan Profit lesson library are pretty busy, and they have full-time jobs or full-time students, and that's why swing trading is such an effective, way for them to start trading. So any coupons for the Learn Plan Profit course? So let's do a discount for the next 12 hours. So I'll activate it right now. Let's do coupon code BOOM. So if you guys use coupon code BOOM, you'll save $40 off the Learn Plan Profit lesson library. I'll do that for the next 24 hours. So I'll set that to expire at 10 a.m. tomorrow Mountain Standard Time. So for all those that want to check it out, I'd encourage you, to just first click the first link, learn a little bit more about it, and if you see value in it, great. If you don't, then we have a bunch of free videos, we have a bunch of free content as well, and we have a free group. So again, it's just you speaking to me and being able to realistically, like, what's the most effective is that you have a lifetime access to the video lesson library, but also being able to speak to me. And I'm not going to tell you where to buy and sell, none of that stuff, but you can pass your stock idea to me and I can give you my own 2 cents if I would invest in it, if I don't, what I would wait for, and stuff like that. So Dick Powell is asking, do you offer a military discount? Message me and I'll give you an extra discount for serving the military. So if you can message me within the TechBud Solutions Discord chat, private message me. I'll get back to you within 12 hours, and then we should be all set to go. Yeah, so definitely if you serve in the military, we want to make sure that we thank you for your service. I know a discount isn't going to, do everything, but 100%, if there's anything that I can do, I'd be more than happy to do it. So release a t-shirt that says boom. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, that's really just it, guys. Wow, my brother's in the military for 10 years. Thank you. Tell your brother thank you for your service. So has the LPP scholarship have been awarded? No, I think that's going to be this upcoming week. I'm going to announce the winners for the Learn Plan Profit Lesson Library. If you do end up purchasing it and then you end up being a winner, we'll just refund you whatever it is that you paid. So I 100% want you guys to know that. So if you guys do participate in the scholarship and you end up winning, we'll refund you. But trust me, I don't think a better time to take action now, especially with the $40 off and if you don't win. So what do you think about it? Yeah, I'll buy that t-shirt. All right, guys. So I hope that you guys all have a beautiful, Thursday. We have one more day to end the week on a green note. It's been a very slow week. Definitely not the way that I wanted it to play out. Still ending at green, but we need to, again, being patient, understanding the pattern, waiting for the confirmation, and all that good stuff. So thank you guys again for your time. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. I actually think this is a pretty good question. If I am looking for a swing trade in a 3 to 5 day period, what time metric do I need to make sure? Correct. Okay, that's a really good question. So I look at the big picture, the 180-day analysis with the 4-hour charts to see how it is that stock or ETF is trading big picture. Because I want to make sure that whatever it is that I'm investing in long-term is trending up. It is good to look, within a little bit closer, like intraday or 3 to 5 days, 3 to 10 days, just like you're saying, to have a better understanding of what more relevant patterns are. Because you also still want to make sure that you buy low, right, as it's trending up. So that's really good, but also have an understanding of how the overall stock or ETF is trading big picture. So that's 180-day, 1-year charts and stuff like that. So all right, guys. Thank you guys again so much for your time. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.